Hope y'all is feeling good, feeling great, all of that good stuff. I told y'all we was coming back. And so we can talk it right. We talked about the marketing and the PR aspect. And now we're going to talk about, okay, what we can learn from this. And they always talk about women being gold diggers, but I mean, we definitely know it's some men out here that are gold diggers too. Okay. They're out here looking for a come up all day, every day. Let me give it a second for everybody to pull on in this thing. And as we do that, we'll go ahead and get started. Hey, Shalati. Hey, bigger fish. Let's see. Hey, superb. Y'all give me housekeeping while everybody's getting in here so we can go through housekeeping and then we can go ahead and get to it real quick. Oh my God. That's a crazy screen name. Oh my God. My word. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Charles. Thank you for the housekeeping. Oh, how do I help entrepreneurs? I basically help people make money through digital channels and social media. Long story long, that involves finding your target audience, attracting thousands of followers like quickly, putting together your funnel, sales conversions, return paths, all that good stuff, marketing, all of that. Okay. Steve said it's a lie. No. I don't hear what he said is not a lie. Um, definitely not a lie. That's weird. All right, housekeeping number one that you guys need to know about. Y'all need to make sure that you vote for Accelerate 180 location. I will be announcing. Ooh, shout out to them quick hands. Told y'all you better get them reflexes. Fun fact about me, I'm faster than I look. Most people think because I'm a thickums that I'm slow, but I'm not. Okay, some of y'all found out at Accelerate during the pool party. Y'all was like, y'all dang, like y'all was like King Ashley is fast, and I am. Okay, don't play with it. Real fast. Thank you so much for the hearts. So anyway, housekeeping number one, vote. It's a couple posts over on TikTok, Instagram. I think it's 3 or 4 posts over, and you guys can go vote for the Accelerate 180 location. Also, I want to tell you guys thank you again for helping me win my first TikTok battle. Super excited. So now I have 2 wins thanks to you guys. And as I promised, I told you guys we would celebrate with a $7 deal. So if y'all go click the link in my bio, y'all asked me for marketing products. So I took Marketing Master and I marked it down from $167 to $7. Okay, you're saving $160. It's only $7, but that's only until 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. So that means you got about 3 hours to grab that. And then I took the super simple marketing strategy and I marked it down to $7 from $197. So you only got until 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight. And then if y'all look in the order bump section, you'll see I marked down a lot of stuff. Okay. So those are your notes. Govern yourselves accordingly. Okay. So everybody knows about Shirley Strawberry and Steve Harvey and Ernest and all of his criminal activities that keep him from being around children and animals and Wi-Fi and leaving Fulton County, and that he has like over 10 charges when it comes to conspiracy, a felony, all that good stuff. I mean, sorry, felonies on conspiracy on. He has bank fraud, sawed-off shotgun, assault welcome, weapons, sodomy charges. It's a lot. It's a lot of charges going on. Okay. Grape. He has an actual grape charge, all kinds of stuff. Okay. So Shirley Strawberry was trying to keep this on the DL. We've been following this case for months. I told y'all that Ernest had been locked up for over a year when we started covering it. And I told y'all, it wasn't rumors or gossip. This is just, it was what it was. On Monday, Shirley and Steve did a live Strawberry letter. Hey, B. Marquita. Hey, Braylon. They did a live Strawberry letter. And the Strawberry letter was brilliant. Now, if you are a fan or if you've been following this case, you feel like the Strawberry letter was capped because they didn't really address anything. Shirley didn't talk about the mistress. She didn't talk about all of Ernest's crimes. She didn't talk about his sub name. She didn't talk about her evictions. She didn't talk about the bank fraud. She didn't talk about the fact that her daughter and her grandchildren are victims of Ernest. She didn't talk about any of that. What she did do was say, I want to apologize publicly to Steve and Marjorie because you're going through your own personal hell. And, my private conversations have been leaked out. And I apologize for what I said to you. Right. That's what she did. And I already broke down to you how I thought it was brilliant, what they were doing from a PR and from a marketing standpoint, and how if Shirley Strawberry is smart, they're setting her up to be able to pick up a new bag, right? Which she clearly needs the bag. All right. Okay. So now it has now come out. Not only was Shirley evicted one time, she has been evicted 4 times since she has been married to Ernest. And she also has lost her home that she had for over 17 years. Also, inside of, y'all can go to Phone Calls from Prison on that YouTube channel. And in Phone Calls from Prison, Shirley admits herself that she has lost her car, she has lost her home, that she has nothing. They came and they confiscated her ring because turns out the $20,000 that Ernest put down on the ring was with fraudulent money, and that he had also taken about $250,000 from another woman that was a victim. Also, Ernest had a girlfriend / business partner who went by Erica King, Rothschild, or some crazy name like that, and they scam people out of over $1 million, promising them business services, and also they promised credit repair. Oh yeah, he also has a charge for operating a legal credit repair company as well. Okay, so it's a lot going on. And the mistress and Ernest were living in a home next door to Shirley Strawberry. Okay. So, anywho, we are going to listen to the Great Chronicle Speaks together if everybody's ready. And then after, if y'all want to come up and sound off, y'all can definitely go ahead and send the request. Hold on, let's set it. I don't know why I do this every night. I know it's going to do this, but I still try it this way every night. What does it say about me? Okay. Anyway, Ernest is really sad situation. And so what I want to talk tonight about is just what we can learn from this and how we can protect ourselves. And I know, people like to talk about women being gold diggers and whatnot, but the truth is there's some men that are gold diggers. They look at women who have something as a meal ticket. Okay. So we're going to go from this aspect because it is really sad that this woman has been in the media for decades. She was able to operate with a pristine career, pretty much. She wasn't ever caught up in any scandal. A lot of people saw her in a very favorable light. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Let me drop the backstage light on the backstage link. I'm sorry, for YouTube, so y'all can come on back here. Anyway, she seemed to be doing pretty well for herself in life. And she's almost 70. So to have to start over rebuilding again at 70 is just nuts to me. So can everybody, I'm going to ask y'all, can everybody hear? Y'all can't hear. Y'all can't hear. Hold on. I'm tripping. I'm like, can everybody hear it? No, you can't hear it because I haven't played anything. Hold on.
Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Chronicle speaks.
Can all y'all hear that? Did y'all just hear that? Chronicle, did y'all just hear her say Chronicle speaks? Did y'all just hear that? Okay, let me make sure about yes. Okay, good. And side note, you can follow Chronicle Speaks on TikTok and you can also follow her on YouTube. I feel like it's quite disrespectful to call her a blogger because this woman honestly is an investigative reporter. She's covered all kinds of trials, cases, information is always accurate. She does extensive research to the point that the FBI has even gone to look at some of her stuff for information because of how accurate she is. Okay. So, anyway, everybody, get your listening ears on. And if you want to sound off, if you have something to contribute to the conversation, go ahead and send a little request. You'll see a little pink and blue little people silhouette on TikTok. Click that. I see some of your requests already over in Instagram land. Y'all know it's a little the little camera on Instagram, and then I already dropped the link over for YouTube. All right, let's go, everybody.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes. Look at you.
Shirley Strawberry probably in a million years did not think that she would be involved in an entanglement, especially one that is so public, but here we are. Shirley's name has been buzzing in the internet streets ever since this summer when a court hearing was released stating that her husband, Ernesto, couldn't be around Shirley's daughter, Shirley's 2 grandchildren by her daughter. He couldn't be around animals. He had a mistress in Florida and he planned to stay in his wife's boss's house in Abu Dhabi. Hearing all of that made all of our ears perk up like, oh? Well, the saga continues. Jail calls have been released that have us waiting on the next episode like the days of our lives. Shirley says that the divorce is now pending. The world is all saying, what? And wow. All because of you, Ernesto. I told y'all we were going to break this story down, and I'm keeping my promise. We are going to get into this case, find out how Ernesto has taken down Shirley's entire empire, and so much more. But before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this case and so much more. Now let's get back into it. First things first, let's start by clearing the air on some things. There have been people that have been thinking that a correctional officer has been releasing these calls to a blogger or to bloggers, and that's totally wrong. There's a thing called the Freedom of Information Act, which gives the public the right to request access to records from any federal agent. You can literally go online and request this information yourself. It's not illegal. No one went behind anyone's back to do it. Again, shout out to phone calls from prison because before she and her husband were getting these calls, I didn't even know that this was an option. So let's get into this information that I promised you. So last year,
But okay, before we get into this, I do want you guys to note a couple of things. Shirley Strawberry owned a home in Inglewood for at least 17 years that she no longer owns. Okay, keep that in mind as you're listening to this. This woman had her car taken from her as well as her wedding ring. She literally was on the phone saying how she has nothing. Her first eviction was when she got married to Ernest. She owed $12K, second eviction, $14K, third eviction, $47K, and they garnished her checks for that one. The fourth eviction, $39K. That's the one that popped off this whole investigative situation that I was telling you guys about. And then with the home that she sold in February, for whatever reason, she had added Ernest's name to it. She ended up quick deeding it back to herself. This was February of 2002. Then, like a few months later, the company sold it at an additional $500,000 for what they bought it from for Shirley. So that indicates to me that she needed money very quickly for her to sell it at that type of loss. Okay. So when I say that this woman has lost a lot of things outside of pride, outside of, damage to her career, you know what I'm saying? Like literally she has lost a lot. And if you guys listen to the phone calls from prison, You can hear her talking about how, like, what is her money going to, that she spent, that she has nothing. And Ernest at one point in time is actually coaching her to, ask Steve for money. By the way, there are over 300 of us in here and I only see 782 likes. What's up with that? Y'all don't do me like that. Okay. don't do me like that. I don't see any likes up at YouTube right now. Like, what, like, really, what's the problem? Okay. What's going on? And don't forget, you said you're sorry, you're shocked. Okay, thank you. Y'all, please get me up to a quick, like, 10,000, 15,000 likes while we're watching. You can slow tap if you feel compelled to help me meet my live goal. It's up there above my head somewhere. If you feel that down in your shanana, send me a little hand heart or whatever. And if I can get 15 of you guys to share, because y'all know we've been covering this for months. Okay, we've been covering this for months. Thank you for everyone that's sending me gifts right now. I appreciate that very much. All right, let's keep the party rolling. And y'all keep tapping, okay? Tap, 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 the tickety tick tap. Y'all keep tapping and sharing Instagram. Thank you for the tap so far. All right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you guys want to sound off, do not forget, tap the little silhouette. I don't know if it's on my iPad, it shows up on the right side, but when I'm on my phone, it's a Samsung, it shows up on the left side. It's a little pink and blue, two little people silhouettes. Pop that. You can request to come up, because once we get through this, we're going to take commentary. Boom. And I just pinned the backstage link to YouTube. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's keep it going.
Ernest was arrested on July 7th, according to booking information, and his initial charge was theft by deception. A few weeks after those initial charges, more charges came, conspiracy to commit a felony, and so on. But Ernest wasn't alone. He had a co-defendant. That person was Miss Erica King Hughley Rothschild. And before linking with Ernest,
side note, let me tell y'all this. If y'all get a chance, please go to Chronicle Speaks page, because I was shocked when I saw what Erica King used to look like before she started dealing with Ernest. Okay? When I say he took her down through there, when she looked like she got bad credit now and heartburn, when I tell you I wouldn't be surprised if she turned around and it was a bald spot in the back of her head. When they say she looked like she have chronic headaches now in her life, but baby, y'all don't understand. This man that took this woman down through there, I was shocked when I saw what she used to look like before she started dealing with this man. Okay, shocking. You said get out your head, baby. I'm telling you, she looked like she been rolled hard and put up wet. She like. It's like, wait a minute. But yes, he looked like he gave her bad credit and heartburn, baby. Like he made all her edges fall out her head. It looked like, okay, it looked like, oh, Jesus. Go, when y'all get time, go to the Chronicle Speaks page on YouTube. Okay. This is the last video she put up. I was shocked when I saw how beautiful Erica King looked and how she presented and how she carried herself before, compared to the way a lot of us were introduced to her with her scamming and scheming with Ernest.
Sis seemed to have a promising career. She was once a PR person for the hit TV show Wildin' Out with Nick Cannon. She was amongst the who's who in Atlanta. She had her own clothing store, car service, and she wore some of the nicest fashions, the name brand. Erica is actually highly educated from Auburn University, and she once called herself a pastor. Take a listen to this.
So I graduated from Auburn. Auburn is a huge school. Cam Newton played football there, Bo Jackson, Charles Barkley. So it's a legendary SEC school for athleticism. So athletics was always available to me. We do sports management and sports publicity. So right now we are preparing for the NFL Combine. So I have several players that are training for the Combine. The Combine is where you get invited to come out and try out for different NFL teams in preparation for the draft.
I stand declaring war on everything that binds your children up, Father God. I loose the spirit of wisdom. I loose the spirit of peace. I loose the spirit of discernment. I loose the spirit of needs being met, Father God.
Let me show y'all. This is how we got introduced to Erica. I pulled up a picture of what she looked like before. Everybody see this is how we got YouTube can see it. YouTube can see it. I ain't gotta show y'all. Instagram and TikTok. This is how we were introduced to this woman. Okay. This her mugshot with Ernest. I want y'all to get this image in your brain because I'm going to show you how she used to look compared to after she started fooling with this Negro. Okay. She let the storm of Ernest come into her life and took her all the way down. Okay. He took down her. He took down Shirley. He probably going to take down the side piece, Sonia. She next on the list. She don't know why he out there asking, can he see her chi-chis and carrying on. Okay. Talking about money well spent, baby. Okay. It baby. Whole different situation. You would be shocked. Okay. This girl, the way that she looked before compared to the way she looks now. I mean, y'all. Hold on. I'm finna show y'all. Hold on. Let me get there. Let me show y'all. Cause y'all gonna be like, Ashley, ain't no way. And I'm like, yes, way. Cause my jaw was dropped. Okay. My jaw was dropped. And this is more like there's a light that people have behind their eyes when they're happy and when they're thriving in life. And the light, this man took this woman's light. Okay. He took, well, I'm not going to say he took it, but she definitely gave it to him. Okay. She definitely gave it to him. Because to go from, let me see if I can make it big. To go from, this is the same woman that I just showed y'all. This is the same woman that I just showed you guys after she's dealt with Ernest. This was her before Ernest came into her life. I want y'all to look at her. This is what she looked like before she started dealing with this man. Let me tell y'all this, ladies, okay? Some men, I don't care how fine they are. I don't care if they have a phallus that's hanging down to the floor. I don't care how much they sweet talk you, okay? Some men have the spirit of poverty and destruction all over them, okay? And you got to run away as fast as you can. Y'all look at this woman. This is what she looked like before she started dealing with him. So it's literally written all over her face and her body how bad this man has taken. Look at her, y'all. Look at her. I was in shock. You want to see the after picture? I was in shock. And let me be very clear. This is not to shame her. Okay. This is not to shame her. Again, the topic of tonight is what can we learn from this? Okay. What can we learn from this? Sis had it going on prior to dealing with this Negro. This is how I was introduced to her. This is how most of us were introduced to her a few months ago. When I tell you, if this ain't a cautionary tale, baby, of when you hit your start to the wrong wagon and how it will mess your life up. This was the woman before. Okay, we're going to continue on. I just needed y'all to have that image in your brain so you can understand the devastation that this criminal, okay, puts in these women's life. Ooh, child.
Papa! Who this woman?
Baby, if this was any indication as to what life with Ernest would be, Shirley, you better run now if you haven't already. I'll be damned if that man turned me from Princess Tiana into Princess Fiona. According to police, these two were a couple who were involved in an elaborate scheme to con people out of their money, promising them to fix their credit, increase their social media presence, and helping them reach business goals. Now, these two got on police radar after writing a bunch of bad checks for the home that they shared together. Yes, the home that they shared together. And if you missed any of that, click on the link above. Now, as much as Sis claims to be smart, she's a college graduate and a prayer warrior, she is far from a saint. Let's get into a brief call from phone calls from prison where Shirley asked Ernest about Erica, and then I will break it all down.
And they gave my co-defendant, I've looked that up too, she got a bond and everything for all of it yesterday.
Who's your co-defendant?
My co-defendant is Erica, Blue, whatever you want to call it. I can't pronounce the last name, but that's what they say.
The woman that's in the picture with you?
Yeah, but I didn't know that.
She got a bond? She's out of jail?
No, not yet. She ain't bonding out yet, but she do have a bond now. She got a bond, so she must have went yesterday. But she got a bond on all her charges. She had like 30 charges. I didn't have like that. But
so do you know this woman?
Yeah, I do know her. Yeah, I do know her. But we didn't do nothing. But the only thing she did help me with, she said she was a lawyer at that time. So come to find out, all this ain't going where it need to be going. So that's why they got me linked up with her.
All this isn't what?
That's why they got me linked up with her.
Why?
I just told you why.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry. I can't talk about so much on the phone.
Okay, well that's okay. Never mind.
Yeah. But that's what they linked up for. So my charges is not none of that stuff. The only charge I got is when I went the other day. So they're trying to say I got rental property. I don't have no fucking rental properties. I don't have none of that. Yeah, if you read it, that's what it said, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have no shit like that. So, but anyway, that's it. That's what I saw today.
So Erica King Hughley was not locked up the same time Ernest was. Ernest was locked up on the 7th. She was locked up on the 9th. She ended up getting out on the 12th. And her 3 charges were theft by taking, criminal trespassing, and fugitive from justice. Now, when she saw that she could get out and they were not letting Ernest out, Sis was thinking, hey, I gotta do something. And she did just that. She decided to impersonate an attorney on a Zoom call. So much like that call that we saw on biodiversity, where you had the attorneys and you had the ADAs, she decided to go on one of those calls and impersonate an attorney. Now, the name of the attorney that she gave up was an actual attorney in Fulton County that had been on these types of calls before. So they knew what this attorney looked like. And they were questioning like, okay, sis, can you please show us your bar number? She asked if she could send it to them directly. She did so, and that bar number was invalid. Sis jumped off the Zoom and got back on the Zoom, but accidentally got back on her real name, Erica King. And they was like, okay, you was just somebody else. Who's Erica? She was like, oh my God, I accidentally logged into my paralegal Zoom. Needless to say, Erica did not get Ernest out. She ended up getting herself rearrested on July 23rd. This time she was arrested.
Baby, how gone do you gotta be to go to pretend to be an attorney to try and get your man out? Impersonating somebody, baby. How far do the schemes and scams go? I mean, my God, y'all heard it, baby. This is beyond sprung. Okay, well, Monica got that son so gone. Okay, she was so gone. She was so baby. She was gone. Okay, she gone. Shirley gone over Ernest. Sonia gone over Ernest. I don't know what the psychological profile is that he's looking, that he's searching for when he's finding these women. Baby, she took Ride or Die to a whole new level, baby. She said, I'm finna pretend to be an attorney and I'm gonna get my man out. We're gonna continue on.
For identity theft, false statements, forgery, unauthorized practice of law, and so on. So yes, Ernest was correct by saying that she had like 30 charges. She actually had 29, and 26 of them had to do with trying to get him out. Erica stayed in jail from July 23rd, 2022, all the way up until March 16, 2023. And at that time, she was let go on an unsecured judicial jail release. I believe that Erica weighed her options, saw that Ernest was doing nothing to protect her, and she decided to sing like a canary. And that's why the side chick, that's why Shirley, that's why everyone is saying sis is snitching. So we see how dealing with Ernesto has caused grief for Erica. And again, don't get me wrong, Erica is a career criminal. Sis is no saint, but her life probably would have went a lot better before she connected with Ernest. Now let's see how Shirley's life got messed up. So the two were married on January 9, 2015, which happened to be Ernesto's 50th birthday. 4 months later, on May 12th, Ernest was locked up for theft by deception for some charges that happened 2 years earlier. Red flag, Shirley. Now, we all heard on the radio Shirley say that she recently lost her house, but this wasn't the first nor second home that she's lost since being with Ernesto. 2 years after being married, Shirley and Ernesto were sued and kicked out of this beautiful 1,600 square foot Atlanta condo. They left owing over $12,000 in rent. 2 years after their marriage, Shirley signed a 1-year lease in LA for $7,500 a month for this home. Now, she was 25 days late on the first payment, and after that, she paid nothing. She and Ernesto was sued by the company Pacific Shore Property Management and had to pay over $14,000 and was put out. Then they rented this 7,800 square foot home in Alpharetta, Georgia for $4,500 a month. They did good for a while, and then the pandemic happened. Now, as you remember, during the pandemic, there was a moratorium put out there to where you could not put your tenants out. However, after the moratorium was over, rent was still due, and if you did not make any payments, everything came due at once. These two were sued and evicted once again. This time, Shirley's wages were garnished. Shirley's bank account was garnished for $47,000. So she had to make payment until this was done. Then they rented this beautiful 8,500 square foot home in Roswell, Georgia, and they got evicted from this one too after owing $39,000 in rent. Now, Shirley bought this modest 1,800 square foot home in Inglewood, California in the early 2000s, way before Ernest came into the picture. She kept it until February of last year and sold it to one of those companies that seem like they just give you money really quick when you're wanting to sell fast. 4 months later, this company turned around and sold it for $500,000 more than what Shirley sold it to them for. So Shirley literally lost $500,000, and because she's had the home for so long, I think like 17 years, she should have had a lot of equity in it, but I'm not sure where that money went to. With her having all this debt, the possibility she sold the house to pay these debts off. It seems like Shirley lived a comfortable, modest lifestyle until she got with Ernest. Once she got with Ernest, everything had to be bigger. Everything had to be better. And the payments got bigger, and it doesn't seem like they were able to afford it. Ernest seems like the type to walk away from bills. You know what? Let it go. It's not mine. Shirley was not that type until she got with Ernest. Now she's more than likely drowning in debt, and he's not here to help her pay it. Needless to say, Hurricane Ernesto came in and did a doozy on both of these ladies' lives. I hope Shirley is able to recover, and if not, girl, we will be praying for you. I actually had a woman contact me last week saying that she has a 36-year-old daughter by Ernesto, and they were married a long time ago and never got a divorce. She said that the marriage between Shirley is not valid. I have been trying to check on the status of this information. I'll let you know how it goes. Anyway, what I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything regarding air?
All right. So, yeah, that's where we are. And shout out to Chronicle Speaks for her putting this together. Because I love her presentation. Okay. I love her presentation of everything. Again, y'all go follow this sister on YouTube and on TikTok. Everybody go ahead and get me up to 20,000 likes over here on TikTok. Can I get another 15 of you guys to share? Thank you, Miss JL for the hand heart. So this is why I wanted to talk tonight about what we can learn from this situation. Also, if you want to come up, use the link backstage over in YouTube land. If you want to send a request to come on up over here in TikTok land, you can go ahead and do that. The box is officially open. Because we're gonna talk about this. Now, I did see somebody in the comments asking how could they keep getting all of these places with those different evictions. And the answer is that one, okay, so this is a bit of information that I've had for a while, and y'all know how I just didn't want to put it out there. But fraudulent documents, okay. And Miss Strawberry had some of those. Also taking these leases out of different business names. Okay. That's also a way that you can do this as well. You said if their marriages aren't valid, she may be able to recover some of that stuff, how would she be able to recover that stuff if their marriages aren't valid? How would, hey, real estate diva, how would she, what exactly would she be able to recover? But no, she can't. She can't recover. Salute Kales, the vet. How you doing, honey? What's going on, beautiful? How you doing this evening?
I'm doing well. I am flabbergasted right now. Like, this right here just blew my mind completely. Like, and people be like, when you're in these relationships, and they're like, oh, you need to marry this man. You need to marry. No, I don't. No, I don't. Because she wanted to marry this man and lost everything. Like, no. Sometimes walking down that aisle is like walking to your grave, baby, because this is crazy. Dim, shh, be quiet. But no, this is insane. Like, I don't. How would she recoup? I mean, no, if they're not married, but they were still
legally obligated though. So yeah, even though they weren't married, and she signed the documents, and some of the things that she knew were inaccurate, which is fraud. Let's just call a thing. I know a lot of people love Shirley and they don't want to think about her committing fraud, but it was what it was. And she made a lot of very unwise decisions. And one thing I do want to point this out, y'all. She said that a friend, hey vet lady, thank you for that. She said that a friend hooked them up together, right? She said that the friend was not Steve Harvey, and then she said, well, an ex-friend. Let me be clear, y'all. If a friend is bringing someone to you and they know that they have, I can't even say a checkered past, it was a checkered present. This man has been committing crimes since the 80s and getting convicted of them. He started getting felonies in the 2000s. He was arrested 4 months after they got married. Okay. That friend is really not your friend, and they're letting you know that they don't think much of you, or either they're an idiot. Either one is not the type of person that you need to have in your life. I remember when I was single, and I used to do this radio show, and one of the ladies there was trying to hype my head up to date this man who had 5 children and multiple baby mothers. Now, at the time, okay, y'all already know I'm big fine, but I was like really fine. I probably was like 30 pounds under what I am right now. Okay. I have no children at all. I was already earning over $1 million a year, right? I'm well spoken. I'm a nice person. I'm a fun gal to be around. And the fact that you would try to say, oh, this is someone you should date, you guys would make a cute couple. Like, come on now. And on top of this was an angry guy. He wasn't charming. He wasn't fun. He was a grump. He was always complaining about things. Like, I stopped talking to her immediately. I also decided I no longer wanted to be a part of the show. And the show was very successful here locally. It was doing big. I was like, nope, I don't even want to be a part of this anymore. Because, and I'm not saying that I'm like the Queen of Sheba. Let me be clear. However, I know my value, and I know for me to walk into that type of situation or environment, for someone to even suggest that to me, you're not my friend. Okay, you're not my friend, and you don't want to see me do well in life. So I'm not sure why anybody who was supposedly Shirley Strawberry's friend would bring Ernest to her as a candidate to date or marry. It does not make sense to me. And this man was an active criminal. He's not a reformed criminal. It's one thing if you committed crimes back in the day and you change your life. This man is an active criminal. So it doesn't make sense. What type of friend are you?
Not a friend at all.
That part.
Not at all. That's why you got to be careful who you call your friends, because there's no way. It's almost like she was whoever the friend was, air quotes, was preying on her downfall. Because now look.
Yeah, it's sad.
The character she is.
It's sad. And so let me ask you this, because I feel like a lot of ladies, and side note, I see some of y'all with your request in here. Go ahead and send your request. I'm gonna bring y'all up one by one. But I want to get this question out before I start this. And I know this is gonna make some ladies, this is gonna burn y'all grits, but I'm not saying this to burn your grits. But this is what y'all get agitated when men say choose better. This is the type of situation that men are talking about when they say choose better. Okay. A lot of times this is it. Like, I don't even know if red flags is what you would use to describe this, right? Like, what of it, girl? What is another word that we can use? Because this is beyond red flags. This is beyond red flags. Beyond.
Yeah, it definitely is. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like when you meet people, you have to realize that, like, pay attention to the space that you're in. You know what I mean? Because if you're in a low vibrational point in life, or if you're a situation like I have a friend who, you know, unfortunately, every time she meets someone, she thinks, oh my God, this could be the one. This could be the one. And it's like you're living in this fantasy. You haven't even given yourself an opportunity to even know who this person is, because you already have this figment, this imagination in your head of what this person could possibly be, and you don't even know. So don't be so quick to want to lay down with somebody or marry somebody just to have a body there, because that's what you're going to end up with, is just a body. Don't be so quick to just want to have a husband, you know, want to have a partner, want to have, you know, someone that's honest. And there's no way that she could have looked at this man's past and just completely ignore everything. I mean, even if he changed, you know, down the line or whatever, because we can't judge people all the way for their past, especially if they're, you know, if it brought them to the good person that they are today. You know, you live, you learn, and you grow. But he wasn't growing, honey. He was living.
It wasn't his past. It was his present. That's the thing. It was his current. Yeah, a past is I did something back in the day, or even last week. I learned from my mistakes. I'm reformed. I'm moving forward in a different way. This guy was still an active criminal. He was continuing to scam people, continuing to embezzle money, write hot checks. He has 5 counts, y'all, against children. Five counts about inappropriate actions against children. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to get my page banana. He has exactly, and animals. Okay, he can't be around animals. He has sodomy charges on him as well. Okay, he has a lot of violent crimes that were already on him before he married Shirley Strawberry. And so it blows my mind that a woman of her caliber would be dumb enough to ignore all of that, to not get a background check, to not have a prenup, to not have the asset that she had is at home set up in a trust, to not have some type of IUL. Y'all understand what I'm saying? To turn your back on your daughter, because y'all remember after her daughter was identified as a victim and her grandchildren were identified as victims, which was very strange to me because most grandparents love their grandchildren more than they love their kids. Okay, that she would still continue to ride for this man. She wrote a whole letter to the judge petitioning to have him put out. So that's why even though y'all are like, oh, poor Shirley, like Shirley is not that innocent to me as y'all are trying to be like, oh, Shirley didn't know anything. I find it hard to believe that she was married to this man for 8 years, remember I told y'all she committed fraud. I showed y'all the documents when we were going through. You can see the documents with her signature on there. She knew she didn't have that money and she was getting evicted from place to place to place to place. So I'm not saying that she knew everything that was going on, but she knew something. She is just like this whole innocent act. I have no idea what was going on. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, y'all. I'm not buying it. You say you should. Hold on, give me one second. You said you sure she knew, but mind control is real. So at the age of 60, you're still out here letting your mind be controlled. Because I saw someone else in the comments, and it may have been you that put out that stupid comment talking about how can we check someone or know if they're misrepresenting themselves. You haven't figured out in life how to have discernment. You haven't figured out in life how to see if someone's actions and speech match. You haven't figured out in life how to get a simple Google search to see if the person has violent crimes against them. That's the first thing I look for when I was single, when I would be dating. If there was a guy that I was interested in, I would literally go and run a check to make sure there was no violent crimes against women or children against that man. Okay. Now, if he had a little charge because maybe he used to be a dope boy or something back in the day, you know what I'm saying? And it's a long time ago. Okay, he may have reformed. Right. If he had like a little juvenile charge or something like that from when he was 16 or 17, that was different. But if a man, you know what I'm saying, has continuous charges against women, children, elderly, doing things against animals, and you're going to look past that and say, oh no, I'm going to put this person in the presence of my children and my grandchildren and my family. No, I'm not. No, there's no excuse for that. And y'all out here talking about some people still didn't learn. Well, that's stupid. That's what that's called. Hey, L'Real, what's going on? Give me a second. I'm going to bring in Miss Five House over here in the building. Go ahead, girl. Sound off for me.
I cannot believe he still married to the first wife.
Hey, girl.
You want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so back in the day, I used to listen to the Steve Harvey Morning Show, right? And I remember when Shirley first started announcing that she was engaged to this guy, and there was controversy. And I was like, it came in my spirit like, oh, Lord, this sounds like a whole nother Sherry Shepherd. I used to tell Sherry Shepherd from the TV, don't marry that man. Some people don't learn. They're so desperate to have a man, that they refuse to see the signs. And I know something in her spirit. You cannot tell me that a woman with this type of a stellar career for so long in the business that she's in, interviewing people, like they got to meet people that are at the top of their game on a regular, and she's been in this business for decades. There's no level of desperation that she should have had to even have dealt with this man, because any woman, almost any woman, especially a woman of her age and the business that she's in, could not know that there was not red flags there. From the beginning, I remember there was controversy when she first got with this guy. And there was rumors going on about him having other women and some controversy about her and him. It was like a love triangle. I remember hearing that. And so I started turning off the Steve Harvey show because I'm like, this woman is giving advice to people. And here it is, this rumor swirling around about this guy that she's with. And I couldn't understand, like, how they just let that go. They just let it go. And now look where we are. It's like, you cannot be that stupid. Because there is no level that you can't say, like, after the first eviction, she should have ran straight to the divorce court. She should have called Judge Maybelline and everybody else and been like, listen, I need to get away from this guy. And she should have started talking to an asset protection lawyer right away, from the first time that it happened. Not wait 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, like, how much does it take for you to get hit over the head before you learn your lesson?
I'm going to keep it a buck. You talking about after the first eviction. No, he got arrested 4 months after they got married, okay, for one of his crimes. I would have been like, annulment. Let me tell y'all this, okay? Let me tell y'all this. And y'all know I'm very pro-marriage and I'm very pro-relationship, but y'all know I'm also very much pro, like, use your discernment, investigate, do your research, all of that good stuff, okay? I am not a ride or die. Any man that has ever dealt with me knows that about me. I have told them flat out, I'm not dying, okay? I want you to live for me, and I want to live for you, okay? Love me enough to live for me. I'm not finna be what's that little girl on TikTok? She's like, every time I ride, I die. She's like, no, no, that's not me. That's not me. If you're getting locked up for foolishness, mayhem, you're an agent of chaos, you're out here being violent and destructive. Oh no, I'm gone. Okay, gone. I know some of you ladies can deal with cheating and all of that, and I'm not judging you. Baby, stand by your man. That's not for me. That's an ultimate deal breaker for me. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know what you can take and know what you can't. For me, I can't. I'm not going to lie to you guys. One of the reasons that I worked so hard in my career and I made sure that I was financially stable because I saw women being in relationships because they had to stay, because they did not have the financial means to be able to take care of themselves and their children. I want to be with you because I'm choosing to love you every day. I'm choosing to be committed to you. If you're good to me, I'll be great to you. Okay. When people talk about unconditional, I'll tell you right now, I'm not Jesus. I definitely do not have unconditional love. Okay. Nope, I don't. Nope, I don't, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. And I know that makes some people feel some type of way. Yeah, there are conditions. Yes, I expect you to make wise decisions with your phallus, with the money, decisions for our family. I expect you to be a decent human being. I don't. I no, I'm not here for all of that. And guess what? Guess what? I don't think my man is here for all of that either. Now, sickness and stuff like that, I'm gonna stick with you through that. You have some type of financial hardship, I'm gonna stick with you through that. You have a company, y'all know in '08, that's when I got out of school. Okay. Now I started grad school, but I came out during the recession and the bubble burst everywhere. That no, I'm gonna stick with you through those sorts of types of things. But I'm not sticking with you and you do things to children. I'm not sticking with you and you do things to animals. I'm not sticking with you and you grape other women. You understand? Like, and I get some of y'all some children too. I'm not sticking with you. And if I had a child and you victimize my child or my grandchildren, no, I'm not sticking through those types of things. I'm not gonna lie, okay? And to me, that's very different than an illness. You know what I'm saying? That's very different than a financial hardship. That's very different through maybe an emotional breakdown or something. Those things are very different. That's very different than a man going through a dark night of a soul and maybe he's a little lost or something, can't find his way. Those are very, very different things. And I again, I'm not judging anybody. You know, every as my mom would say, every pot has to set on its own bottom. But I'm just telling you guys, for me, I would not dare sit here and fix my face and say I have unconditional love. No, that's God that offers that. Okay.
But this guy, not me. Again for the people in the back that just walked into the church.
He did love her. She was a meal ticket. She was a meal ticket. Riri, let me bring L'Oreal in, and then I'm gonna bring you in after L'Oreal. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. Oh my God. I got a feeling we're gonna see her in a jumpsuit pretty soon. God.
Why you think we gonna see her in a jumpsuit?
I just feel it now. I just feel it like, man, are you kidding?
Because you didn't know it was
so the marriage might not. I mean, because the people just digging it up, and pretty soon, pretty soon she gonna be in a jumpsuit. It's gonna be let out that she was in on some of these scanning she been out here doing with her nest.
Please believe she's being investigated. Please believe that.
I know it, boy. I tell you, woo-wee. So the marriage ain't even valid, and the man.
Well, we don't know. That's allegedly right now.
Allegedly.
That's alleged.
Allegedly, you never got. And you know that's what some of these men do, especially when they move state to state. You know, they don't even be bothered with finishing up their business. They just, oh yeah, we divorced. What? What? Just because you walked out that door, that ain't what that means, sir. Oh, Lord.
This is the thing. He's a career scammer, and this is the truth, y'all. Listen, ladies, this is for every lady in here. Because y'all have to understand this. Most men are already aware of this and know this. Yeah. Because men are taught this, okay? Their older brothers, cousins, their fathers. Sometimes it's just their mentors. Sometimes it's not even a mentor, just some older man see a younger man trying to get himself together and they proud of him and they'll reach out and they will advise him. Listen, ladies, and you don't have to be on a national show, okay? You don't have to have a large platform, okay? You don't have to be filthy rich, just rolling in money. You don't have to do that either. If you are a woman, okay, and you have stable income, especially if you own a home, you know what I mean? Or maybe you live in a nice high rise or something downtown. If you dress decent, You drive a nice car, and when a nice car, I'm talking about like a newer model, like a Honda, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little Lexus, a BMW, something like that. Please believe that there are men out here. They see you as a meal ticket. They see you as a mark, okay? There are men that have already identified the profile of a successful woman. Oh, she got her hair done, nails done, has a degree, nice car. You know, she's leveled up, she's upper management, you know, those sorts of types of things. Well, the only thing she's missing is a man. So I can come over here and sweet talk her and kiss her on the neck and whisper in her ear, and I can take her out for 1 or 2 chicken dinners, and then I'm going to be able to juice her, especially if I lay it down. And a lot of them like to disguise themselves as hobo-sexuals, okay? Because this is how hobo-sexuals, y'all don't understand how hobo-sexuals work, okay? Hobo-sexuals are out here hunting for a house. This is why, and some of y'all don't like it that I'm, you know, that y'all will see me over in the lower 9th ward on his stream. I was in somebody else's stream and somebody was coming from me in the comments. I don't care what you like. Some of y'all don't care, you know, that you'll see me on the stream with like Peter Anderson and stuff like that. I don't care what you like, because one thing I can say about those brothers, they are very adamant in preaching to women that you marry before you carry and stop having friendly panties, because they know that there are men out here that are coming for you. Y'all may not like the way that they say it, but they're keeping it straight because they want y'all to understand how some of these men think. They want you to understand that some of these men are low down, disgusting, dirty scoundrels, and that they don't love you. They want y'all to be more discerning.
That's why I want to normalize not calling these people men, because these are
they're males. They're males. You're right. You're correct. They're not men. They're males.
Yes, because no man will ever like my daddy. As soon as I tell him I'm interested in somebody, he's like, "What's his first and last name and date of birth?" Because he's about to run all types of background checks.
Yeah, they're males. And y'all, let me tell y'all how hobosexuals work, okay? So when some of you look, because some of y'all ladies probably laid up with a hobosexual right now and you didn't even know that you got, okay? Hobosexuals, most of them are extremely handsome. I've never really seen a hobosexual that's not an attractive guy, okay? They're normally very charismatic. They're going to make you laugh and giggle, okay? They normally smell good. Hobosexuals are normally very social guys. They're out and about on the scene. Every now and then you'll meet an introverted hobosexual, but most of them are social because they're able to get through life off of social credit, okay? Now, a hobosexual, the first couple dates, he's probably going to take you out. Okay. And he gonna give it, baby. He gonna get you home. He gonna rub your feet. He gonna give you a bath. He gonna tell you how beautiful you are, baby. He gonna bring out the nice soy candles, the body oil, and he is gonna put the D on you like you have never had before in your life. Okay. He is gonna put it down like the hammer. He is gonna put it down like thunder. You understand what I'm saying? Because he is literally hunting for a home. He doesn't have anything. Okay. This is how hobosexuals operate. He is going to hope that you roll over and immediately go to sleep. So he can say, got him. Okay. And when you get up the next morning to go to work, because it's either next morning at work or he going to get in there on the weekend. Right. And he's going to be so helpful to you that you're not going to want him to leave. So this is what's going to happen. Okay. After he'd have put it down on you like that, you may even wake up in the morning to coffee and a little fruit or something, right? Or he's going to pretend like he's asleep. He really up, but he's going to pretend like he's asleep because he's waiting for you to ask him, well, what are you about to do or where are you going? If you allow the hobosexual to stay asleep, okay, the hobosexual will pretend to be asleep. He'll let you get dressed, walk out the door, okay, to go to work. And then when you come home, the hobosexual will probably have cooked for you or ordered dinner. The hobosexual will try and be useful. He may fold up your towels. He may wash your dishes. He may see that something needs to be cleaned, right? Because he wants you to have that feeling. He wants you to come home and be like, oh my God, this is wonderful. Okay. And then before you know it, he finna put it down on you again the next night. Okay. Thunderclaps. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. Got you all discombobulated in the mind. Okay. Then boom, next thing, the same day. Okay. Every time he come back, it's something useful, it's something good. Well, now you liking the hobosexual to be around because he make you feel good and he compliment you and he giving you good D. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you out here talking about, you know what? We can have a non-traditional relationship. It doesn't matter. They don't have to know what we got. Our love is our love. I like this arrangement. I mean, I got to work anyway. And please please understand, there's a difference between you as a woman out earning your man, but that man still goes to work every day and he still has goals and visions and he's trying to level up in his life. Totally different than a hobo-sexual. The hobo-sexual job is you. The hobo-sexual's job is to work you. Then sooner or later, the hobo-sexual gonna have some type of business idea or something that he's been working on, and he gonna finesse you. Oh, baby, I'll support your business. I'll support your idea. That sounds fantastic. What you need? You need 10 bands. You need 20 bands. You need 5. Oh, you need baby, you need somebody to co-sign for your credit. Oh, you need a van for your work. Stop it.
Ashley, you know what that is?
That's what, girl?
That's what you call a fancy car with the check engine light on.
That part.
Okay, it look good on the outside, baby. It's gonna be clean when you get in on the inside. Tires is all glammed up and everything. And as soon as you start that bitch up, the whole dashboard light up like a Christmas tree.
Let me tell you this with the hobo-sexual. Y'all tell me he wants you to be his secret. No, the hobo-sexual is touting you around proudly. Hobosexuals give you all the validation, all the attention you want. The hobo-sexual, look at my girl, my girl fine. This my girl. He's doing all of that because he knows he needs to do that to solidify his place and keep juicing you for everything that he can get out of you. That's how hobosexuals operate, y'all. That's what they do. Some of y'all, it's full. You ain't got to say it. I know some of y'all laying up right now realizing that you with a hobosexual and that you got. You better get rid of them. You better get rid of them, and you better go and find you a man who's actually a man and not a male, and who wants to contribute and do something with his life, because this is how you get got. I don't want to. The sad part about this story with Shirley Strawberry is that it's not uncommon. You know what I'm saying? All of us have heard this type of story before about an affluent or a successful woman falling victim to this. Go ahead, Riri.
I knew of an 85-year-old lady that was married to a man. One of my neighbors told me 30 years younger, and he was trying to sell her house from under her 3 times. And this woman was so proud to say she was getting married to this young. He was fine, light skinned, the whole 9 yards. People got to stop being desperate just to have somebody around. Learn to love yourself first, because that's how you end up in situations like this. I mean, this is 70 years old, and first of all, you fell out with your family, and you're 70 years old. You should be just riding it out on Easy Street right now, not trying to figure out how to pick up the pieces of a life that you worked hard not to be in your whole entire life up until now. This is it's a sad commentary. It really is.
It is.
It's just very sad.
Riri, what you got, girl?
Man, let me tell you what I got. I got to make you laugh. But you know what? Due to the commentary and the story of the night, I'm going to send you this type of gift right here, because it's just fitting. And then this is what I need y'all to do for me.
Y'all, everybody knows she sent me strawberries.
It's 365 of us up in here. It was serious. I had to make you laugh. Sometimes, it's a cold, cool world out there, but if you don't have a sense of humor, you might go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Right.
It might be a couple of families away from a picnic.
Couple of them.
You don't have bologna without no mayonnaise on it. If you want mustard, mine is the mayonnaise. I'm just saying. It could be that, y'all know what's going on these days.
I'm classy. I prefer pressed ham.
Well, you better get that pressed ham.
I need pressed ham with mustard and barbecue potato chips smashed down on white bread.
You better let them know. That's the Southern hospitality flavor right there. That's what I'm talking about. Right. But you know what? I'm gonna be funny for a minute, then I put my little 2 cents in. This could be like this food out here. This could be the imitation strawberry. Shirley. Versus the real Shirley. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like she has a public persona that she's all sweet and nice, and then in real life she with the ish.
Yes, most definitely. Now it is 387 of y'all up in here. If y'all were ever so kindly, I'll even use my southern voice if y'all want me to.
tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen, tap the screen.
Yes.
I watched it. It's been at 28,000 since I've been in here. Again, we having good commentary tonight. I mean, look at the information that we're getting. Tapping the screen is free. Even down at the bottom, you know, hey, share it. I know a lot of people would love to hear this information. A lot of people might not even be aware of what's going on. And, you know, we kid a little bit, but however, this is happening in real life.
It is.
To some people, you know, and this is something that needs to be talked about. And it is sad. And then, you know, and it's in our community. It's in every community, however, you know, but this is happening every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's good that, you know,
we gotta be alert. We have to be alert. We have to be alert. And I know some of you guys don't think that you're ladies of, you know, ladies with means. You are. I'm telling you, some of y'all are doing very well compared to the average, right? Compared to the average person. And so you have to, one, make sure that y'all, the way that my heart hurt when I found out, remember, because I've been telling y'all in February that there was a property, it had his name on it too, then it was quick deeded back to her, and then she sold it. I was waiting to tell you guys that it was her home that she had owned for 17 years. And when I saw that, I was just like, my God, how gone are you and what is happening financially? Because the way that she sold that house, she needed money quickly. She needed money very, very quickly. So that means she'd already depleted whatever was in her savings. She had probably already depleted whatever was in her emergency fund at that point, right? To get to the point where you're going to say, do y'all know how much equity you have in a house at 17 years?
Man, listen, especially in this. Hold on one second. Y'all, in the next 5 minutes, let's go ahead and get this to 50,000 likes real quick, because it's a lot of us in here, and we can get it done. Let's do this for the queen, aka the king.
Thank you.
Feminine millionaire, y'all.
And I know all of y'all are not following me either. If y'all enjoying this commentary, go ahead and give me a follow. And side note, thank you for everybody that helped me win my first TikTok battle the other night. Super exciting. It was so much fun. The kingdom is not conquered. Okay. I told you guys, because y'all helped me win. I asked y'all what type of product y'all wanted me to put on sale. Overwhelmingly, you guys said a marketing product. So if you click the link in my bio, you have until 11:59 p.m. So that's about 2 hours. I'm in the Central Standard Time Zone, and you can get $167 product for only $7. I told y'all I was gonna do a $7 make it holler, and I was gonna do a good product. And I put two of them up there. So Marketing Master and the Simple Sales Strategy. They're both only $7. Okay. And if you look in the order bumps, I marked a bunch of stuff down too. Okay. Blink, blink. Yes. Yeah, she lost $500,000 on that house. Yes, ma'am.
Just a quick question, because when things happen and like stuff just completely falls apart for people, I have to wonder, like, what were you doing in that moment where, I don't know. I know bad things happen to good people, but in some ways, some shape or form, it's hard for me to believe that she was not complicit, or didn't reap the benefits of him committing these crimes, because for her to just, I don't want to not call her a victim or the victim blame or anything like that, but it's just hard for me to believe that she was not complicit in some way, for everything to just fall to poop.
Well, she was, because I want y'all to notice one of the things, they were getting evicted, but who was getting sued and who got garnished? She did. She did. Now on the house, the last one that spurred all of this, where they were $39,000 behind on the rent, she was sued and her companies were sued as well. And I believe he was sued on that one too. So that one was everybody, but it was the third eviction, the 47,000, she was garnished and she was sued from that. So, and like I told y'all, because somebody in the comments had asked about how are they getting into these homes, because they probably were putting the homes in the business's name, because you can take out a corporate lease. Your company can do a corporate lease. Like that's not an uncommon practice. And they probably were looking at the fact of her name. And then, like I told y'all, there were fraudulent documents that were going on as well. And they were like, yeah, come on in. So like she may have had an eviction on her, but that company didn't necessarily have an eviction. Does that make sense? If y'all picking up what I'm putting down?
Picked it up, and threw it, and look, it came right back like a boomerang.
Karen said it's cuffing season, the hobo-sexual season. They coming strong because it's about to get dark early and cold. No lies detected, Karen.
I heard the unemployment wing be tough to beat. Y'all be careful.
I mean, think about it. He's gonna have all the energy. What else does he have to do all day if he's unemployed besides go to the gym and hunch on you?
This man probably, this guy probably still have to call his mom and ask for his birth certificate.
No, he's a top tier scammer. He got all the documents. He probably got 5 or 6. He probably got 5 or 6 different birth certificates. I mean, it's crazy. He got everything, girl. He probably has your birth certificate.
Why would Shirley go and put him on her house though?
The only thing that I could think that would resonate in my brain is that she was like, we're married, so what I have is what you have, and what we have together. That's the only sense that I can make of her putting him on the home. So ladies, this is another thing with protecting yourselves. You own a home, do not put someone else's name on your home. Because what happens is they now have rights to the profits of that home. So if you sell that house, or if you guys get divorced or whatever, they actually have rights to it. However, they are not responsible for paying any of the bills, the maintenance, the taxes, any of that on the home. So we do not add people to the home if you've acquired that home before you all were married. And I'm not telling you guys anything that I'm not doing. And y'all know I love Corey. Y'all know I'm crazy about some goddamn Corey, right? But I ain't that crazy. Okay. No, Corey, any asset that he had before we got married, that's all his. Any asset that I had before we got married, that's all mine. Even to the point, you're not even entitled to the profits that are generated from my assets that I had prior to you. And likewise, the same for me. Baby, I'm a big fan of prenups. I don't understand why people get so tight about the prenup. Baby, prenup me, prenup, postnup, midnup, whatever. All of them. Okay, clank, clank. We want it locked down. And if you really can take it to the next level, put that home in a trust. Because this is the thing, any man that I've ever met, men want to add to you, not take away from you. So any man that comes, he's going to respect that you already had something that was there, right? Now, y'all may move in, maybe your place is bigger, so you may move into y'all's place together for a while, right? That may happen, and then y'all may put your resources together and buy a family home together, right? Or he may give you a bigger home, or maybe he already has a house and the house is larger, and you're going to take your house and turn it into a rental property or something like that. So that way you can put it in there, let it compound, build up, right? All that good stuff. And you can have a actual asset that you can leverage, that you can borrow against, okay? Maybe to get another 2 or 3 properties or whatever it is that you want to do. But I would not advise any man or woman, and especially women, because women are notorious for doing this, will be out building, doing well in life, that came up, and then get with a man and drop down in the ground, baby, faster than fast. You don't do that. We don't give him access to our business and to our homes and to our lands and all that we acquired prior. And ladies, if you're with a man and he doesn't want to give you access to that stuff, well, you love him for him, right? At the end of the day, that's fine. Then what you guys acquire together as a married couple, that's what can be split 50-50. If that man loves you and he wants to make sure that you're okay, he may give you a house. He may put your name on something. He may go out and buy some property for you, right? He may get you an IUL. He may buy you some stocks or something. That's not uncommon for a man to do that, because he wants to make sure that his wife and children are always going to be taken care of in the event that something happens to him. However, it's very strange to me when men or women that were not there when we were building think that because I love you, well, now you get to come in and take advantage of my 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, in Shirley's case, like 40 years of hard work and development. No, you weren't at the rehearsal. So why do you think you're getting on the stage at the main show? Blink, blink, blink.
In the gym?
And baby, you understand me? You understand me? How does that work? And that's the reality of the situation. And if you're a man and you're in here, please listen to what I'm saying as well. Bro, if you worked hard to build up your company, you worked hard to get your house, you worked hard to get your property, you worked hard to stack up your bank. Maybe you got $60,000, $70,000 put in the bank. Maybe you got a retirement that's at $250,000, you know what I'm saying? $500,000, something right now. Bro, that is yours. Okay, that is yours. And if that woman is coming in and she's wanting access to that, that's strange. You need to start looking at her and be like, what's really going on? Now, what y'all get together, once y'all get married and what y'all start acquiring, that's totally different. If y'all have children together and you want to put something up so her and the children are going to be okay, that's totally different. But there should not be anyone coming in to encroach on what you have built. Y'all are big grown. Okay. Now, when you 19, 20, stuff like that, that's different. Ain't nobody got nothing. Nobody has anything when they're young like that, right? I'm not going to say nobody. We'll say most. Some of y'all like trust fund babies and stuff like that. But most people don't have a lot acquired. So y'all build that up together. But he was like 50 when they got married. And she was 60, I think, right? 60, 61 or something when they got married. That's real grown. That's real. Both of them were at big old ages. That's real grown. That's a different situation. You can't compare a 50 and 61-year-old getting married to 19 and 20 or 22 and 23-year-olds getting married. Totally different. And I'm gonna say this, and I want y'all, since we got a panel full of ladies tonight, to sound off on this. I strongly feel that something is going on with the ladies where we don't understand the difference in building with a man and building a man. Because I hear a lot of ladies being adverse to getting down and building something with your guy. Right? If y'all are on a similar level, or maybe he's a little above you or you're a little above him, and y'all got a vision and goal and you build with each other, that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? But to build up a man, and what I mean by building up a man, this man was 50. Again, this is a grown man. Okay? This is a grown man. If I really feel like if a man is over 25, or if a man, let me back it up. If he's pursuing your kitty cat, meow meow, okay, he want to hit that, he want to smell it, he want to taste it, he want to lay up next to it, he wants to make her purr, meow, all that.
What he told that lady
he said if he get hot, pat it. He told her if he get hot, pat. If he's out here telling you to pat the puss, okay, if that's what that man is out here doing, baby, he needs to have good credit. Number one, ladies, you're gonna stop hunching on men with bad credit. That's what you're gonna do. Okay, that's number one. Okay, he needs to have good credit. Number two, that he needs, even if he doesn't own a home, he needs to be able to keep a roof over his head. Whatever that looks like. That he's paying for. He needs to be able to keep a roof.
That's not in his mama name.
He needs to be able to keep a roof over his head. Okay. That's a real thing. All right. He should be able to feed himself. That's not asking. He should be able to, come up with some breakfast or some lunch or some dinner or something for himself. Because if he can't do these basic things for himself, you are out of your mind. You think he's going to be able to do it for you and him. That's not going to happen. Okay.
Open up the refrigerator and it's empty.
It's
just a bottle of water and an old pack of beer.
Right. He needs to have some type of skill set. And he should be working in a career field. Now, I will say this, the newer generation, they don't stick and stay with a company for like 20, 25 years. Kind of like, it looks like every 3 to 5 years, right? They move companies. They normally will leverage one company for another, get a promotion, run up the pay, better benefits. You'll see them moving across country, different companies, stuff like that. But normally that guy will be in some type of career field, though. He may be moving around, because of his work, but he's like, oh, I'm an engineer. Oh, I'm a journeyman. Oh, I'm a welder. You know, oh, I work on the oil rig, whatever. He's going to have some type of actual career field that he's going to be involved in. If you meet some man and he's a grown man and he's out here talking about, I'm trying to see what your meow do, okay? But he doesn't have any type of vision for himself, and he has no consistent income because he hasn't chosen a career or path. Girl, why are you giving that man the cat? In real life, if y'all really want to get to it, I'm not going to get too deep into spirituality tonight, but it's really biblical. It's really on the cool. It's really in the Bible. The Bible really chastises men that don't take care of their wives. He says that you're worse than an unbeliever. It says a man is supposed to take care of his family and specifically supposed to take care of his wife and children. And if you're not doing that, you're worse than an unbeliever. So girls, why would you be out here schmexing these men that don't even have a career field or a vision or some type of direction for their lives?
Because he has so much potential.
We don't date potential when we get grown. But no.
You're looking for potential at 60 years old.
But he has potential.
No. I said no.
Listen, that's why when I start dating again, if I ever do, you can't even get close to me in the first 90 to 160 days. Don't touch me. Like, we're not having no level of intimacy, nothing. We're going to talk for a long time. I'm not kissing you because I don't want to close my eyes and then be living in this fantasy that I done created in my mind for you. Right. Because I didn't allow you to touch certain parts of my body, and now I'm blind and I can't see.
Right. I want to be, but you're accurate. I want to be clear though, right? Because you brought up potential, and that's what a lot of women say. No potential. Like no, I know what you were saying. This one time, okay. Like, yes, and I want to be clear for everybody. You look for a man in progress. And that doesn't mean, like, I want to be clear, because some women gonna feel like, oh, he doesn't have it all together, I need to evade him. No, that's not what we're saying. But he needs to be in progress of something. If that man says, oh, I have a 5-year goal to be, whatever type of manager or supervisor or regional director at this company, right? Or in this industry. And I'm going to go from here to here. And you see him actually working that thing out. You see him getting the trainings, going to courses, doing the extra hours, going to company events, you know what I mean? Trying to learn the different arenas. That's what I mean when I say progressing. That man is progressing in it. If that guy says, oh, I want to get into real estate, and he's going to real estate conferences and he's reading books and he gets a mentor and he's in the auction and he's purchased maybe his first 1 or 2 properties, that's a man that's in progress. He may not have the 50-unit apartment building yet, but chances are he's going to get there, right? Because that's a man that's in progress. So I want to be clear, you know what I mean? I don't want y'all missing out on good men because they don't have it all together yet, but you need to be looking for a man who's actively progressing, not some dusty dude sitting around telling you what he wants to do all day and you never see him taking active steps in it.
You know, the sad part about that though is that she was probably so alone so long that she figured, oh, I have all my stuff together and I just need this one little piece. And he saw right through that and said, okay, well, here I am. I'll be your Prince Charming. And she just was oblivious and ignored everything, every bit of good common sense you probably ever had. Just because this man was there in her bed every once in a while. Because clearly he wasn't with her 100% of the time because he had his mistress right next door. I mean, like, how crazy is that? And then you say, I think they even said a different name in court. And the whoever was on the panel thought that was the guy's wife. Right. Or something. And then they were corrected. And I don't think it was this lady.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was another name. Yeah, it was another one. Yeah, it was a different name on the document. He had several women. Yeah.
He had quite a few women in different places. And you cannot tell me this man was so clean. No cheater at that level, con artist, can cover their tracks that good. And he clearly didn't care, because the way he was talking to her was like, it almost sounds to the point where it was like abusive. Because he was like, I don't want to cuss. Why would you even think that you would want to cuss? Talking to your wife, that is clearly, she's the one paying your legal bills. This whole time putting herself in harm's way for you. And you talking about, well, I don't want to explain it because, I can't cuss. I'm like, this is low. This is like, what gutter did she drag him out of? He was right down there with the New York.
Well, maybe it was a good match. Like Riri said, maybe it's a case of a imitation strawberry and real strawberry flavoring. QT Pino said, so you can't complain about him not spending enough time with you when he's in progress. QT, I would say that's accurate. Houston.com said a man in stride is who you want. Exactly. Potential doesn't pay bills. Right. So these are even men that are co-signing what I'm saying. And ladies, that's true. A man that is out here hustling, that's building something, he doesn't have the time that the hobo-sexual has, because he's out there working for your future and for your family. So you better figure out how you can be a good support to him, or you better have something going on in your own life so that you're not harassing this man about him not calling you enough or texting you enough or seeing you enough. And I'm not saying that he's not going to make time for you. He will. But those type of men that are actually in progress, that are building, they don't have a lot of idle time on their hands like that. They don't. Hey, Roger, what's going on?
Hey, Queen, all of the queens in the house.
Hey, Roger.
You are so on target. You're so on target. You don't have men. When you become established in your 40s and 50s, you don't have time for idle chit chat. You really don't have time. You value quality time more than anything. It's not the abundance of time, but the quality of time. And you're more resilient. You're just more resilient. If we get knocked down, we're getting up so fast that you don't even know we're knocked down. And we have a history behind us. So we have the ability to call people in our past that we've done things for, that would allow us that time to recoup. You know what I mean? And we have assets. Our assets. You build up something. So, for my daughter, I have a daughter. I only have one child, a daughter from my first marriage, from my only marriage actually. And I try to tell her that. I don't know how to bring it to her. I've presented it. I've bailed her out. I've gotten things, and I'm trying to understand. I've outright told her, the males that you're choosing are not men. That's not me. I've always been in your life. These guys, you try to see potential. That is not potential. That is a baby walking in a grown male body. They have no backbone. They crumble under stress. They run and abandon you, and then you call me, hey, Dad, I need this. Can you do this for me? Can you do that? And I continue to do it. And I'm telling her, I said, I can't. I've tried to set you up. I've tried to give you my background. I've called my attorneys. I've even paid for you to do these things, and yet you still take these no good males, broke imposters back, and then try to ask me, well, could you give them one of your trucks? Can you help them? Can you set? No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. See, men don't like weak males. Real men will not tolerate a weak male, even if that's your bloodline. We're not going to allow you to stand in side by side with us and pretend to be something you're not. We'll identify you. You have to. If we bring you to a group of men, we're going to tell those men exactly who you are. So, when you tell your daughters, men out here who have daughters, we are very protective of our daughters. And so when we see these imposters, it is just a note that goes off inside of us, like this is an imposter, right? But no matter what you tell your daughter, she is dead set on proving you wrong. You can't prove me wrong as a man to identify an imposter. It's impossible.
It is, because I definitely would run men by my daddy. And if my daddy spoke and was like, that ain't it, or I remember I was dating this guy one time, and my daddy was like, oh, he's soft. And I was like, he works out. And
there you go.
I was like, he works out. My daddy said, no, girl, I'm not talking about his physique. He was like, he's soft. He was like, he didn't make eye contact. He was like, his voice is too shaky when he was speaking to me. My daddy ran down a list. My daddy bust this man down in less than 5 minutes. Needless to say, I was like, okay. I probably dated him for another 2 weeks after that, and we're out of there. We're out of there. And I knew it was something different about my husband, because I told him, I said, oh my God, I said, my daddy likes you. And he said, what? I said, my daddy likes you. I said, my daddy doesn't really hold conversations like that. The last guy he took a liking to was like, years ago, like probably when I was in college. And not that I would just bring a lot of men around, because I knew most of them wasn't worth a flip. You know what I mean? So it's not like I just had a barrage of men around there. But literally, when my daddy, like, he liked him, he would have a conversation with him. I said, you did something special. I said, my mama and my daddy both like you. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, okay, exactly. We're doing good. We're on the right track. And so, ladies, if y'all have a daddy, or you got uncles, you know what I mean, or brothers, somebody around, yes, and they're good men, and it's somebody you're interested in, you need to let the men in your life vet them, because like Roger said, like a weak male, a man can sniff him out immediately.
Seconds. The way he presents himself, the way he walks up to us, the way he holds his head down instead of hold his chest out and know that I got my lane. This is my lane. You can't outdo me in my lane. I don't care what it is. By the time I was 18, I was taught how to take care of 3 households. That's at 18 years old. You can't take that away from me. I was taught how to run businesses at 18 years old. I was in the stock market by the time I was 29. International business and a realtor. I had to go to school. I can't understand for the life of me the choices. I share this with all you queens. Why would we, as your father or your uncle, give you nothing but the goods, like the real goods, so you can see what we see? If I'm gone today, I want my daughter and my granddaughters and my grandson to flourish and thrive. Why would I give them nothing but 100 or 1,000% truth? I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to pass this on to you. I have trust set up for them. But now, my mission is raising men up, is to show men and help men to heal and to stand strong in their own lanes. So I have a trust. I'm working with my accountants. I'm not my accountants, but my attorneys now to help me set up this trust for men, because at some point, I'm going to make my transition. I have to leave this world. My grandmother told me this, asked me this at 10. She said, promise me that you're going to be more than a headstone when you leave this earth, that they're going to know you lived. I have to honor that. I've never let my grandmother down. I've never let my heroes, my uncles and my grandfather down. I've always been a man of my word. My word is law. And that is the difference between a man and a male. Our word as a man is law. Even if we're no longer married to you, my ex-wife will call me and say, you're the only man I know that if you give your word, you don't know how to do nothing but deliver. Even if I'm not married to you. That is the difference between a man and a male. I don't care if you say, we don't get it. Look, if you were my woman, and we can part as friends, but you can still call me and rely on me. That's just law. If I seen something of value in you, and we didn't make it as a couple, as a team, I still value you as a woman. And therefore, you always have access to me. So, when my daughter got pregnant with my grandson, and he told her, "Why you not still working?" Why my daughter had a difficult pregnancy because of her high blood pressure and stuff like that. He said, "I gotta leave. I can't stay here because this is too much pressure on me, and I don't take pressure well." And he left. Then
what?
He turned off their phones. He turned off their phones. He took the car. She lost her car to save his car because she had her car before his. And then he lost that car, living in it. Then my daughter calls and said, "Dad, I already knew. I said, I'm going to stay out there as much as I possibly can. I'm biting my nails. And I told her, I said, I'm coming to the city. You make sure that he's available." She said, "He's not coming to see you, Dad." I said, "No, he's a coward." So then she said, "Well, I don't have a phone. I'm on Wi-Fi. Can you give me?" So I call, I put on the phone, I put on my corporate account, because my whole life is corporate now. I mean,
yeah.
So I said, okay. And they tell her, they said, "Ma'am, this is not a regular account. This is an international business account. You understand that whatever you do with this account, your dad is responsible for this." Yeah, I understand. Then she goes, she gets back on her feet. Everything's good. I pay for her, pay for my granddaughter and all that stuff, and goes and takes him back.
Oh, Lord.
They are back together now, right now. So I said, "You know what? I tell you what, babe. You do it your way. You do it your way. But you got to get off my account.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grandfather you in to your own corporate account." She has a salon. I bought the furniture for that. I said, "I tell you what, I'm going to grandfather you in and give you what now is $10,000. They're going to give it to her." They gave it to her. She has it now. She has her own corporate account. I said, "But I am not going to take care of a bum. I'm not."
Facts. That's what my parents always told us. They said, if you're with a man or if you're living with a man, because, a lot of my friends, when they were like young in college and stuff like that, they didn't have problems shacking. I didn't shack up with anybody because my parents were very clear in letting me know, if you're living with a man, that man should be able to take care of you. And this is not your husband. And at this point, your father and I, my mom made it very clear, your father and I will not be assisting you with anything.
Absolutely.
Don't you call us for a thing, Naima Mill. We still love you. But they were like, if you want to make that choice to be a adult choice in that manner, then we will no longer be supporting you. We're supporting our child, not a grown man. And so my parents were very, very clear. So I agree with what you're doing, because my parents were very clear with that with us. There's a very hard line that they had. If you're going to be with a man and y'all going to be bumping and grinding and doing all that, well, then as a man, he should be able to contribute and take care of you, to, at least at a minimum, the way that your daddy does.
I tell her this. I said, "Baby, men don't play house."
Yeah.
A man does not play house. Either we have a home, we are partners, or we're not. But men don't play house. You just don't do it. So if he's pretending to be your husband, because legally on paper you married this man without me even being present. So when you did that and he turned that signal and he put that flag out there, I'm not, ultimately I'm not, if he hurts my grandchildren, I gotta intervene.
Yeah.
If he hurts my daughter, I have to intervene.
Absolutely.
But I'm really trying my best as a father to allow her to make her mistakes without me just. My daughter's 33. You know, you gotta, but you can't keep calling me to bail you out.
Yeah.
This is the 5th time.
Well, look, she gonna keep calling you. You got to get to the point where you strong enough to not bail her out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's where I'm at now because I told her I gave it 2 weeks 2 weeks ago. I said you got to get your business in order. I don't care what no more excuses. In 2 weeks, which was a couple of days ago, and I said you're going to take over the responsibility of your own corporate account, or you're going to get it pay as you go. You're going to do everything. And I never mentioned him, not one time. I already know, she already told me, because he's always right there next to her on the phone.
Of course, because he's not busy working doing anything, so he has all the time to be. He got all the time to be next to her. He not doing anything.
He can't.
So can I ask you a real question? If it's too far, you don't have to answer. You can say, "Girl, I want to talk about that."
Absolutely.
Is your daughter going maybe to see like a therapist so she can evaluate?
Yes, she is.
Okay, that's
yes,
good. That's good. That's good.
My granddaughter is in the therapist. Yes, she is.
Yeah, that's really, really good because her going through that process, she's going to start kind of looking at like, well, why exactly did I choose this man as a partner, and why am I making this decision to let someone come back in my life that's let me down, several times.
So I'm going to share this with you. My daughter, I've always raised her from a child. Don't ever lie to me. You can tell me anything. Mm-hmm. You can literally tell me anything, but you cannot tell me a lie. So she doesn't lie. Mm-hmm. She's very forthcoming. So she put me on the phone when they were going through their breakup. And this guy is a manipulator. He's a liar. Mm-hmm. And he degrades her. Body degrades her, right? And body image. Now, my daughter is extremely beautiful. She's a really attractive woman. And so his thing was, you're overweight, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. You're this, you're that. You're not a woman because you don't know how to take care of your man. Okay. All right. So my daughter said to me, Dad, I'm gonna put your phone on silent and promise me you will not get on the line. Now I'm gonna tell you, it took everything in my world, in my universe, to not unmute myself. But I honored what she said. Mm-hmm. And I listened to this coward degrade my daughter. So what? So where I'm at inside of myself now, I don't know what it is that you see in this caliber of males. I believe you see what you said, potential, right? But I believe you see that you have the power to make this sow's ear a silk purse, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and it sounds like she's struggling with some self-esteem and self-worth issues because she's let him infiltrate her, because it's this old saying, and basically she has to buy into it, right? She has to believe it in order for it to be true. So unfortunately, the very negative and nasty things that he is saying about her, some part of her somewhere in there believes a portion of that, and that's part of the reason that she's accepting it. So I'm gonna be
and she lost the weight now. So she was pregnant, of course. So the weight was initially.
So he's calling her fat while she was pregnant.
Yes, this was pregnant weight. So now she not only lost the pregnant weight, but she's slim, right? But you're absolutely right, Queen. She bought into the narrative. Right now she's slim. So she bought into the narrative of low self-esteem. Now she's in therapy, right? So I know that at some point
it's gonna click.
She's gonna come out of it.
If it's okay, I would love to put your daughter on my prayer list. If you could DM me her name.
Absolutely.
Because I'm, like I said, y'all know I'm a spiritual person, but that right there is a whole demonic soul tie. And it's not uncommon that girls, if they get pregnant by a man, they want to try and make it work out with the father of their child. And they will go to extreme, means to try and make that relationship work. Even if it was supposed to be a relationship that was just for a season, they'll try and turn it into a lifetime. And when you don't see yourself as your father's daughter, when you don't see yourself in the way that you're created, when you don't see all the great things, about you, and somebody's been able to come in and break you down mentally, it can be an uphill battle, because now, even though he's an enemy, he's just reinforcing the negative core beliefs that she has about herself, right? So now the biggest battle that she has is really her own mental and her own heart. And then she's gonna especially if she's in therapy, she's gonna wake up one day and she's just gonna be like, why am I here? Why am I with this person? Why did I even accept this? And she will say, yeah, it's out for me. It's out for me.
And she's crazy. She's crazy about my grandson. And he looks just like his dad.
Yeah.
Right? So she's crazy about him, and I get the connection. I get it. But you hit it right in the head. I just, at this point, I can't allow myself. I've done so much work, and I'm an advocate for men's health, mental, spiritual, physical, economical health, right? And so I've done so much work because I came from an abusive, abandonment background. My daughter doesn't have she has never experienced that, right? Because that was my vow to her, that I would never do what my dad and my mom did to me with my daughter. So, and I had to take care of both of my parents as they got older. Before my dad passed, I was the parent to my parents and the parent to my daughter. So
I understand.
That's my life work. But I had to, right now as we speak, I have disconnected. I am allowing her to live, to take hold of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's difficult. As a father, it's extraordinarily difficult to let go of the reins and still move on, because I have an international business. I have an international production company, a logistics company, just bought into a motion picture company. I got a lot of stuff going on, and this is that's why I say, as men are resilient. So when you queens are out there meeting imposters, understand this: a man can stand in his lane, and exactly what he says to you, he can show you. I'm all about the proof is in the pudding. If I say I am that I am that. I can show you that.
Yes.
In every way, in every form, when I show up. If I tell you that this is going on, I can show you. Oftentimes when if you're standing with me in my presence, you see all these calls, you can hear the conversations, the dialogue that's going on, or the urgency for this, or contracts and this and that and the other. So that's no lie, right? But the people who come into my presence, physically come into my presence, they always say, man, this man right here did this, and this man right here did that, and he saved me from this. The proof is in the pudding. An imposter can't stand up for that. You know what these males do? They get around real men and they try to fit in, but they're ousted. And then they hear the dialogue that we're sharing, and then they go and try to mimic that. Only for a little while.
Mm-hmm. Who that sound like? That sound like Sean T. Adams. That sound like Sean T. Adams. But what, Mr. Roger, protect your peace. Love on your daughter. Mm-hmm. Be there. Be her support system when all fails, because he has nothing to offer. So with her being on her healing journey and her going to therapy, because I'm sure his monkey ass is not going. So with her being on her healing journey, when God is getting ready to push you to the next level, you're not going to be able to take the trash with you.
That's right. That's right.
You're not going to be able to take the trash with you. So it's only a matter of time before that relationship disintegrates. So just be there to hold her and hug her and let her know it's okay. But in the meantime, in between time, you continue to handle your business, because until she gets sick and tired, it's nothing that you could say, nothing that you can do. You can go and snatch her out of there and put shackles on her, and it's not going to help.
I received that.
Yep, that's it. That's it. We sometimes we got to fall on our face.
Yeah, I would also like to put out, maybe you can suggest her groups like Mocha Moms, because she needs a support network, obviously. Because this guy is probably saying some crazy stuff in her ear. I can only imagine, because what I see a lot is the product of those broken relationships is the children. And that's what needs to be protected the most in this situation. She'll eventually come out of it because she has you to look at and say, I can't keep sitting in this mess when my dad is up here doing his thing. And then eventually she's going to want to rise up to the level. But I feel bad for the kids that come behind a relationship like this because they're still going to be tied to this crazy man.
Yes.
So I would pray that at some point you're able to mentor them out of not being in that same situation when they get to that point. That's all. Anyway, Ashley, this has been a great conversation, but I know it's other people that want to get in. So you can drop me and I'll continue to listen and heart you up.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I wish you the utmost best rest of the year with you and your newlywed husband.
Thank you.
I pray for y'all every day.
I appreciate that so much.
I've never met you in person, but I just feel like that was God blessing you for all the hard work that you put out.
I think so.
And I really wish y'all the best.
Oh, thank you. I wish you the best in life too.
It puts a smile on your face, and I feel so happy for you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, Queen. Thank you so much.
No, Roger, yes. Thank you. And thank you for being vulnerable and honest, but thank you for sharing, right, too, because it's one thing for us as women to say, hey, girls, this is what you need to look for. It's another thing for a man to come up and say, no, these are the marks of a man, and this is the difference between a man and a male. And a lot of our sisters have it confused right now. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with getting down and building with a man, but building a man is totally different than building with a man. And so that man, he has to have something already. He has to have even in the Strawberry Letter, Steve Harvey was talking about how Marjorie, he's like, she got down in the foxhole and she built with me. And he said, I didn't have anything. He said, I had nothing. Now I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, Steve Harvey, you said you met Marjorie again in Hawaii with her children. So first of all, you're not regular broke. I try not to be judgmental because I was like, you know what, maybe, he was there on work assignment, maybe he was speaking.
If it was the Dominican Republic, then I'd be like, okay, maybe he was a little broke, but baby, you in Hawaii.
Hawaii is very expensive. But then I was like, maybe it's a work assignment, because we speak at events, right? But then I said, this is the thing. Steve Harvey did not talk about, he may have not had the dollar amount he wanted to see in his account, but he had his name. He had his name, and his name is worth millions. And at any time he could have fired up and did some shows or went on tour, all those things that they ended up doing, together. And so it's like, yeah, Marjorie got in the foxhole and worked with you, but we're gonna keep it a buck, Marjorie. And this is not me hating on Marjorie. I think Marjorie Harvey, honey, she ain't getting how she live, okay? But a woman like her does not attach herself to men who have nothing.
Thank you. Exactly. And I share that. I consider myself, I'm asset based. When you're talking about business, I've been in business since I was 13. I've had a company since I was 18 years old, and I'm now 58. And so, but my asset base and my Rolodex is up there. So I can call somebody and they will fly me out somewhere. And before I get there, I have contracts signed and everything. So the concept of broke when you are established is way different. When Steve said somebody signed $20 million and had him
$22 million in taxes, right?
Do you hear me?
Right.
You know what kind of influence that is?
People don't understand how much money you have to be making to owe that much in taxes.
I'm like, come on now.
Because he said they missed 7 years. So I said, okay. I said we're gonna be light and say 3 million old each year. I know some years are more than the others, but people don't understand if you have to pay $3 million in taxes, then you are probably making anywhere in between $6 and $10 million a year. And depending on how good your accountant is, you may even have been making 15, 16 exactly. That year. So.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, people talking. He's talking about broke. I mean, I like, stop, Steve. You're killing me. You are really killing me. You know, and I tell people, I said, look, you know, technically, I don't have a dollar. Well, I always have dollars, but I, you know, I have, you know, I'm economically challenged right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the beginning of the year, and I sat down. They say, and I haven't heard from these people. I sat down, prayed about it, focused, and then opened my phone, made a call, and all, you know, within minutes I had a $100,000 another truck in addition to the truck I already had, tickets and stuff ready to go, and new contracts. So I tell people all the time, Queens, when you have a man who's established, when you meet a man who's established, even if he's financially challenged, he has a net wealth in him that he can make a phone call and change the economic situation in minutes. Minutes.
Speak on it.
The same broke.
It's not. It's not. When you have that network and you have a good name, now you can always make some shake. And so that's why, like, for the ladies, I'm telling y'all dealing with grown men. Grown men should have something established. They bare minimum, that man needs to be in a career field. He needs to have his credit together. He should be able to keep a roof over his head. He should be able to feed himself on a regular basis. Now some of this other stuff is preferential. I'm not going to get into it, but that's the bare minimum. And he should be emotionally stable, because a lot of these men out here are emotionally unstable. I was in a panel tonight and the guy just started cussing and talking crazy. I was like, please don't cuss at me. Oh, I say whatever the F I want to say to you, blah, blah. They ended up dropping them. But I'm like, no, like, ladies, when there are men out here flying off the handle like that, run, leave them. You do not sleep with them. You don't date them. You don't have conversations with them. If they don't have the type of temperament where they can address you as a lady and see you in that type of light, that's not the type of man that you should be around. Real life.
And Queen, if he's intimidated by your majesty and your power and your gifts, that man is damaged. There is no amount of love that you can do to fill that hole.
Nothing.
That is his responsibility, to go and get the therapy and help he needs and do all of the wreckage, clean that wreckage up before he comes to you or anyone and say, I am ready for this.
Facts. That's bare minimum, ladies. We don't want anybody to be Shirley Strawberry. What's shaking, girl?
And then speaking of something shaking and baking, I need these fingers to be shaking and baking and tapping the screen. But what y'all have to do is tap Ashley's box, please.
Yeah, y'all gotta tap my cheeks. Tap my cheeks.
I have a question about that, though. Ashley, I'm sure you probably can answer it. But when you're in the box, it's not good to tap, right?
Yeah, you don't tap. If you're up here in the box, y'all don't tap.
Y'all
don't tap in the box. Y'all don't tap. If you're in the box, you don't tap.
I want y'all to understand something, because what it does is, by y'all tapping and keeping this live going, it's helping the algorithm out, and it's showing the good old people at TikTok that, hey, we might ought to keep this going, or hey, let's go ahead and release these other people who we done took out the live because she done got so hot up. Let's bring them back, because this this topic is needed. You know what I'm saying? And if there's anybody in here that you like, gift them up. Share the live. All that good stuff. Because like I said, we all need to hear this. Like I said, this is our community. This is our community. For other people, it might be an entertainment. Like I said earlier, this stuff is happening every day.
Yes.
And so you don't know. It's somebody on this live who could be going through this very same thing, and this could be such a blessing to them and helping them out.
Riri, I'm trying to give you, but it won't let me.
Somebody said about if a man can't have a respectful conversation, right?
And
that's so very true. If you're sitting there with a man and he becomes emotionally unhinged, that is a huge red flag. Like Queens, that's a huge red flag because he is emotionally unavailable. This man is looking for somebody to be a quilt or comforter or
and a punching bag.
Out a punching bag. For real.
Punching bag, yes.
For real.
Absolutely.
I mentor a lot of men, and I've trained 800 men over 26 years in my career in transportation, and I share this with you. They have often said to me, this is in a safe place, how much damage they receive from they seeing their mothers date so many men and hustle these men, and they vow to themselves, this was their vow, to not be a man like that. Now, okay, I get it because I've had that happen to me. But this is the difference between doing the work on self and not doing the work on self. My mother was 15 when she conceived me. She was 16 when she had me. My dad was 21 when he got her pregnant. My dad was not a father. He was a hustler, and he had no parental skills, period, right up until he died. So I share this with you because once I healed from the fact that my mother was a child raising a child, that the mistakes that I witnessed her do was something only a child would do at that time. Now, I have a great relationship with my mother now, right? But when you have men who have not healed and who've not went back inside of self and at that adolescent stage or that child stage and went through that process, they're dangerous. They're dangerous to themselves and to the woman that they're pursuing at that moment. They're very volatile. So I share that. I share that with my daughter, right? I share that with her because the damage that we do as grown adult men is only because we haven't done the work to heal ourselves. And when I really did my work, I started doing my work in my 20s, right? When my daughter was born. So because I was taken back. So this was, I wasn't able to establish an international business and keep anything straight until I got me straight. And that's the gift that I give you, you queens, a man who's upside down in his life. He has to do that work. You can't fix him. You can't fix him. You can't heal him. You can't. Now, I'm not taking away from the healing mechanism of a woman, of the feminine energy. That's
but you're telling the truth. It's his responsibility. He has to want to do the work. He has to see that a shift has to be made, and he can't be in avoidance. He can't be in an avoidance state in his life. So you haven't said one lie, and I'll be honest, I don't think there are enough conversations where this is broken down to women in this manner. And I think that's why we keep seeing repeats of Shirley Strawberries happening, right? These women that are accomplished, they have businesses, they have academia, they have networks, right? They have a great, maybe community and stuff like that around them, but they still fall prey, and all of them are taking the same path, right? The same footsteps. They're out here trying to build a man instead of understanding I need to build with him. And they're not looking for some of these basic qualifiers, right? Is the man emotionally stable? Is this a man that's trying to progress and improve himself in any way? Is this a guy that has a career? Can he take care of his basic needs? How, like you said, how well does he deal under pressure? Because as a man, men in our society, there's always going to be pressure for y'all. So that was very strange of him to say that. That was very strange of him to say, I don't deal well with pressure. Well, guess what? Being responsible for a wife and children and a family and the vision and a legacy, and being able to make sure you still making them coins ring even when you don't feel good, and trying to protect them from harm and want to put your children in a better school. Oh, it's constant pressure. then a black man on top of that, you know what I mean, in America, with the law is against you, the country is against you, things are not set for you to fare well. It's constant pressure. So it's like very strange of a man to say, oh, I don't deal well with pressure. Well, and this is where I tell the women they have to put onus on them. This is why I tell y'all, you have got to get to know these men before you give your body to them.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that you got to have a 90-day rule, because it's some men that will sit around and snuff you out for the 90-day rule. I wouldn't
especially if they know that's the rule.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend giving any type of numerical rule, but you need to take your time to get to know people, see if you even really like them, because a lot of people jump into bed with people that they find out they really don't like.
You know, and Queen, this is the thing. I'm an established businessman, right? And I'm an established man, because that business is just one facet of who I am. I don't need your money.
Mm-hmm.
I require your intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
I can make my own money, and we can make money together.
Mm-hmm.
But if that is nowhere near what I am coming to you for as an established businessman. I don't. You will never hear me say, "Hey, baby, can you spot me $10,000?" Are you serious? Really? Okay. I don't need that.
And see, and this is the other thing, though.
Intimacy.
Even if you did, if you're my husband, you know what I'm saying? Look, we in this together, because but that's different, right? Because now at this point, as a husband, you've proven to yourself you've proven to the family, you've proven to me over and over and over again that you are capable. And everybody hits a little strange spot sometimes. So if I got a man and he's already shown me, boom, 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 I'm capable, I'm dependable, I'm responsible, I'm consistent, I'm taking care, I'm handling things, and then a project goes wrong, or like in 2008, right? We had a big economic bust, just boom, just like that, right? Stuff like that. Yeah, like you dig down in your purse for your husband, but not for a man that's not your husband. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
And not in the door, Queen. If you met me and we are dialoguing and we're getting to know, we're in the not even the courtship stage. We're just getting to know you. You know what I mean? Like we ain't even decided to date yet, right? But we're having good time. Money should never be an issue. If he brought up money in your first year, I'm serious. If money was brought up in the first year, you got an issue.
Why do you why do you say first year is the issue?
Because there are so many and every relationship is different. I'm just talking about me. Because we are in a process of sharing the different dynamics of who we are, right?
Mm-hmm.
The layers and levels and there, when we're professional, there are times when we don't get to see each other, right?
True.
So things happen, but from a business paradigm, and this is just me now, because and I'm a Capricorn too. I say this. I'm structured. I'm highly structured. So I have insurances. I over-insure. so I have all these things because this is my concept. This is my philosophy. No one's coming. They're not coming. They're not coming to help me. I've been abandoned so much and let go by so many people who call themselves friends and family that I don't view them. I don't see no one coming to help me. So I am the help, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing I need to interfere with my getting to know a queen is money, because that has been the issue when it comes to breaking up relationships or off communication. I'm the last person who's going to ask you for anything. Now, I'm not saying, because I am giving. I I will help, but I'm not going to come to you and say, every day I deal with the Fortune 300, right? That's why I deal with every day. Every day I'm asked to do solutions every day out here. I don't even think about seeking out someone I'm in a personal relationship with money, because there's so many avenues.
It's not a wrong answer. I just want you to speak on it as a man. As a man.
Yeah.
I just want you to speak on it.
For me, I want to know. See, my validity, my validation when it comes to partnering is: do you have the emotional intelligence? Can you handle me and my flow, my vibe? Can we deal with? I want to see your worst days, right? We can fix up some stuff, but what happens when you're under stress? What happens when something's going on in your family where you need support? I don't have all the answers, so I need to develop our own language, our own conversation, our own dialogue. So that takes time. That's not something that is going to happen overnight. And the first thing I don't need you to think of me is, here's another bum. Here is somebody who's trying to love bomb me just long enough so they can get whatever they want from me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the biggest thing you can ever give me is you.
So Ashley, my niece has this group on Facebook where she does like hookups or whatever, like not necessarily hookups, but like just introducing, people to people and just to see if it works. So she introduces me to this guy. And, he was real cool. He came and set up my shampoo bowl. He had this, lucrative HVAC company in Detroit. Okay. And I was able to, to vet him because Detroit is small. My family is big and they knew exactly who he was. So, he looked like he had his stuff together. So he flies down here to Atlanta to come see me and we have a really good time. So, to the course of us dating, I'm like, this is just too good to be true. But then I start thinking like, okay, Kelly, don't self-sabotage because you know how you do. You start looking for stuff. So, of course, I told you what my dad would do, Mr. P.I. So, I'm like, Dad, I really like this guy, whatever. So he was like, baby, give me his information. So through the course of us dating, everything is cool. And, I go to Detroit, take my kids to go and spend time there. And we had a good time. So someone just told me, like, Kelly, just take him out of his element. So I said, how about for Christmas, you and your family come here to, kick it with us, spend Christmas with us, this, that, and the third. Now, mind you, when I tell you this man was Prince freaking charming, like, act like he had it all together, even with his emotions and all played it great. So they get here, everything is great. It's his mom and his son. His mom is older, like in her 70s, and she had just recently had heart surgery and she's on dialysis. So she was moving around a little slow. His son is, at the time he was 19. So he was just chilling and, kicking it with my daughter, but he's out of his element, He's not being standoffish. He's not being rude. None of that. He's just being a regular 19-year-old kid that's in an uncomfortable, spot or whatever, but he's still trying to have a good time. So needless to say, they were here for about 3-4 days. Everything was great. And then on maybe the last day that they were going to be leaving, we go to the aquarium. I'm going to make this story short. So we go to the aquarium, but I had noticed that earlier in the day, the energy was off. Because I'm a big energy person. I pay attention. My house is my harmony. So I know when something's off in here. It doesn't matter who steps through the door. I can feel it. So I noticed that things were off, but I addressed it. He said, "Oh, it's nothing," and then he shrugged it off. So I'm not gonna run behind you 5 and 6 times asking you what's wrong, what's wrong, what's wrong. No, that's gaslighting. I know I didn't do anything, so I'm getting ready to proceed as normal. So we get to the aquarium, and I noticed that the energy was off. His son, when we get to the front, they're like, "You got to put your mask on," and he was like, "No, I'm not putting my mask on." Now, this is around the time that the coronavirus was very, heightened, and everything was pretty much shut down, but they were just now opening back up. So everybody had to mask up. So long story short, when we're getting ready to get to the front, he didn't want to put his mask on. The supervisor came, and the guy who I was with was like, "What are we waiting for?" And I was like, "Well, your son doesn't want to put his mask on." They start arguing, and before I know it, they're fighting like two fools in the front of the aquarium. Like, when I tell you, all I saw, and then I get punched in my forehead.
What?
Girl, I got punched in my So I'm like, "Oh my
well,
God."
That escalated quickly. I wasn't expecting that to come out of your mouth.
Listen, okay? So I'm like, "Oh my God, like, what is going on?" I see the police here. They come with their tasers. So I'm screaming, "No, no, no." And I'm like, "That's his son." Needless to say, they whisked him off. Do you know they whisked the son off? They didn't arrest him or anything. They was just kind of like, trying to diffuse the situation. This guy picks his glasses up and dusts his shirt off. Mind you, the glasses crooked. They broke. He looked like a fool. Busted lip. Just looking crazy. The mama then melted down the wall to the floor. Can't believe what's going on. Grabbing her chest like she need a hospital bed.
Baby, I would flatline. Come, baby, you need to come and get me. Come and get me.
He handled it though. It was like, that's how I said, I'm so glad when God puts something in your spirit, you can't second guess it. It doesn't matter how you feel about somebody.
Right.
Because I knew it. And the way he handled it, and he wasn't apologetic. He was very arrogant. And next thing you know, he was verbally abusive after that. Like, I had only given him like maybe 2 weeks after that. Cause I'm like, okay, maybe this is an isolated incident. Y'all, like, I want to see this dynamic a little bit. I couldn't even last 2 weeks, Ashley. Like, I'm telling y'all, and I say this to say, you have to get to know these people. Listen to what they say. If they tell you, "Ooh, I can't drink that tequila," that brings something out of me. Give him some shots of tequila. Don't be blinded. These fools will try to tell you they will fail you. You know what?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what it takes time. It takes time.
That's crazy.
You got to allow your process. If anything worth having is worth working for and waiting on.
Yes, absolutely. Get to know them.
Child, that's a lot.
Y'all telling y'all story. I might as well go and tell mine too.
Go on, girl. Let's hear it.
With a TTS. Tap the screen. That's what I need y'all to do. That's my story. Tap the screen. I'm gonna need y'all to tap the screen.
Right.
I'm gonna need y'all to tap the screen. I know y'all thought I had some. I ain't got nothing.
Well, look, we're gonna give everybody last words while they tapping the screen because my iPad battery is low, and I don't want it to hang up in y'all's face. Cause y'all know that I'll let this sucker die. And then
let it die down.
Loretta just tapped out, baby. I'm waiting on her. She to give me my funny commentary. She quiet. I think she went to sleep tonight. Think we'd have bored her.
Y'all know these what you call them, hobosexuals?
Hold on, Kelly. What you say, girl?
What you call them, hobosexuals?
The hobo girl, you got a hobosexual with you?
Oh no. Only man children I take care of is my own. I ain't got time for that.
I would say, girl, I'll come over there and get them out. I will run. We should.
I want to say
this could be my next business. We should run. We should call. Okay. hound a hobo, and so we can go over there and we can get the hobo-sexuals out of people's homes for them. And sometimes they won't leave when they figure out you onto them. They'll start get aggressive and they be like, "No, I'm not leaving. You can't put me out."
That's when they start showing their colors.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But these men like Ernesto, he a homosexual, but they take it to a whole different level. Like the guy was saying tonight, they mimic the things that they hear when they get around real men, and they get it down because they real scammers. Like my sister first baby daddy was a real low life scammer. I think my nephew in high school now, this is freshman year. This man ain't had a job in that long that child support can't find him in that many years. That means he's professional, house to house, hobo, sexual. And that's what it is, right? That means he has made just pretty much, and he got to be like 60 now. Because he was maybe like 40-ish, 45.
Mm-hmm.
And it was women before that. But he had it down so damn packed. They trick you. They come nicely dressed. They act like they have all these businesses. Not only do they trick you, they scam other people out their money too along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he came, he had a Hummer, he had a Jag. He took her to houses that he's supposed to have rent. I mean, walked her through while we getting ready to rent this one out. She been to business offices, all kind of mess. And eventually, a couple of months down the line, how he end up moving in with you? But he have all these properties.
I told you that's how they do the first few dates and stuff like that. It's gonna be roll out the red carpet. I'm impressing you. I'm showcasing this and that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, now they're asking you for stuff, and their wallet magically disappears, and your purse is always out.
He done a end. It lasted maybe a year or two, and I mean, she even found a way to check his voicemails in his phone before, and we were listening to see if he was with another woman. Because, like you say, he gone all day on these business meetings and all these things, still putting on, but you need help, or you don't have this money for no bills that's coming through, but you gone all day.
Ladies and women, queens, don't get it twisted. Just because they're well groomed and washed up doesn't mean that they have a place. It means they have a gym membership.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get that twisted.
Yep, that's it. That's the type of man Ernest was, I believe. He came in there looking good. For her to get evicted that fast, he was a homosexual, wasn't he?
She should have figured out 2 and 2 together whenever she had to put the place in her name.
And she kept it going for a long time.
When she had to keep putting places in her name, that's what she should have figured out. I'm telling y'all, when he got arrested 4 months after we got married, baby, I would have got an annulment. I would have been on the show saying, "You guys, I married a criminal. I didn't know." I would have been crying. Oh my God, I get an annulment, but I'm single again. I'm out here.
I'm telling you.
So
come and get me. Come and get me.
I have a question. Is it that you are embarrassed, or you don't want to admit that you're wrong? I mean, why do you hold on to males like that?
It's a variety of things. Some women it's embarrassment. Some women it's a status thing, because especially women of a particular generation, they value relationships and men, if I'm honest, a lot more than women in my generation. So for them, it makes them feel, complete. For sometimes it's a facade or an image. You want people to feel some way or think some way about you. It could be a variety of reasons. Some women have low self-esteem. They feel like I can't get anyone else. Sometimes when you get women, they get older, right? They were super career focused. Then they look up one day, they're 50, they're 60, they realize they don't have anyone. And they feel like, well, I better just get what I can take at that point in time. So if that woman doesn't feel like she can do better than that, then there may be another reason that she stays. I mean, there's a whole host of reasons why women stay in trash relationships.
That's what I tell people all the time. Stop saying, because I'm a hairstylist, so I get all the tea. But I always tell, people when they come and they be like, oh, I wasted my time. Da, 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 da. No, you didn't. Look at it as preparation. Because if you look at it like wasting your time, you're going to continue to waste your time.
I'm not laughing at you, Kelly. Y'all, thank you for helping me hit my live goal. Somebody in the comments said, because he got that curve.
That too. That too, though.
That's a
It
got it.
I mean, at some point, it's it that much curve that you take that type of.
I mean, when women are intimate, oxytocin is released in us, so it clouds judgment, fog stuff, causes you to bond to somebody you shouldn't bond to. All of that.
He got that dog.
I think for Shirley though, Shirley had been on the radio telling all these people when she get her man.
She would talk a lot about what she was gonna do when she got her husband.
Yes,
What type of wife she wanted to be.
And so to me, I think it was ultimately embarrassment because she had made it so public at her job, in front of all her friends, everyone that she knows. And then for it just to be months later, you figure out this is who this is. I don't think she had it in her. She should have chose herself and just said, I was wrong. I chose the wrong person. She would have still had as much she had now, probably more. But she tried to save face. I do think Shirley lives above her means too.
I mean, clearly she keeps getting evicted.
Yeah, she wants
$7,000 rents because I feel like she wants a man to treat her how Steve treats Marjorie.
Right.
And the only reason I say I feel like that is because of those phone calls from prison that they released on that page. And she was talking about Marjorie has a spa in her house and Marjorie has a salon and Marjorie has this and that. And, everybody knows Steve is very loud publicly about how he feels about Marjorie. So I think that's a portion of it. And clearly she doesn't have a strong, very strong familial relationships because look what happened with the family and how quickly she was, between her and her daughter. So like I said, it's a multitude of things.
But I know Shirley married, but it sounds like she got commitment issues for me.
Commitment issues of who?
The houses she be in, the landlords and all that. Yeah. You know me.
She should have kept that one for 4,500. She should have never moved to Roswell. Roswell busted her bubble.
Either her husband ain't Steve, and she ain't Marjorie. So regardless of what it may look like,
I'm not saying that she was expecting her man. I'm not saying she's expecting her man financially to match up to Steve, but I'm talking about the doting and the loving and the adoration and the I'm proud of you and here's my girl and you can cry on my shoulder at the end of a hard day and I'm gonna be here forever, like that component.
And see, you notice how he says cotton candy
for her, or he just gave her that, like the lady said in the comments, that ding along.
And the only thing I heard was wow. And what? That's all I heard from that man. So I don't know.
Maybe he wowed and watered her.
Well, publicly on his Instagram, he always calls her cotton candy. He never said that in not a one of them phone calls. I say he put on for her publicly. Even when he took her out for her birthday dinner, he had her escorted by his security company. And they opened the door and all that, like she's the Queen Elizabeth. Publicly, I feel like he does give her those adorations on, that, but their private conversation,
right. It was totally different conversation between her and the side piece. The side piece, much more loving, much more youthful, actually some type of banter and stuff like that. We talked to Shirley. It was like him, almost like he was talking to his mama. I remember that conversation. She was like, well, thank God. He's like, yeah, thank God. And I'm like, girl, this man don't believe in God. Like, what are you talking about right now?
That's why I always say, it's so important to be authentic.
It is.
I tell people all the time. I said, what I'm going to give you is 100% who I am. I don't keep up with the Joneses. I either have it or I don't. It's okay not to have it, but I'm going to give you authentically me, right? And so whether we're in the public or private, you're going to get me.
Right.
No pretension.
Right. Well, what y'all about to get right now is I'm about to end the stream because the iPad is on 1% and I don't want it to hang up again. Even though I'm enjoying the conversation though. So I don't know if we're gonna be on to talk about Shirley tomorrow because I have lots of things that we didn't even get through. I'm gonna do my best to do like a lunch and learn, but tomorrow afternoon we're going to be announcing where Accelerate 180 will be for 2024. So if you haven't voted yet, go to Instagram or TikTok and vote on the post. You'll see it up. You need to have your vote in by 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. If any of you guys in here are trying to get the $7 product, you have until 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So that's about 45 minutes. Hold on, wait. It's 11:17 right now.
It's 12:17 in Atlanta.
Yeah, so it's 11 over here. I'm Central. I'm an hour behind you. So no, you have 42 minutes. I said 45. You got 42 minutes if you want to take advantage of the $7 deals. Y'all asked me for marketing products yesterday to put on sale. And baby, I delivered. I took $167 product, $167, and I marked it down to $7. So click the link in the bio. There are two bright green buttons you'll see them as soon as you get there. Marketing Master is the first one. The second one is the super simple marketing strategy. Look at the order bumps because I'd mark those way down as well. I'll see you guys tomorrow around 11:30, 11:45-ish, sometime around there. So we can announce where Accelerate 2024 is going to be at. And y'all know what I'm about to say. Oh, Tanisha, that's so cute. Thank you. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are on the planet Earth. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. If it's morning time or daytime where you are, have a productive and a prosperous day. If it's evening time, get yourself a good night's rest. Thank you to all of the panelists tonight. Y'all were fantabulous, fantastical, amazing. I love having the conversations. Roger, thank you so much for coming up and giving me a man's perspective tonight. It's always needed, always appreciated, especially when we have these types of conversations. Thank you to my hostess with the mostest. I don't know why it wouldn't let me gift you when you're down in the little quad underneath me. Everybody give it up for Riri. By the way, y'all, it's hard to moderate. Okay, it's a hard job to moderate. So y'all please be sure to love on my moderator. Make sure when you sit, and that's on any panel, send them mods gifts, send them love. Okay, send them all the little encouragement, honey, because it's a thankless job. I mean, I be thanking Riri, but it's harder than what y'all think to moderate a room and get people to like and tap and share and create segues and be able to get people to laugh and all that good stuff. Okay. And Riri, you do a fantabulous job. I'm so appreciative of you so much. So very, very much. Everybody give up for my girl L'Oreal over here in YouTube land, baby. She be holding it down. I love her voice, okay, and I love her comedic timing over here. She's fantastic, right? She's so fantastic. Kelly, come back anytime. I like the youth of it all with Kelly. And I love her. I love her transparency. And she was funny. She was tickling me. So y'all, I'll be on 11:45 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow, so we can announce where Accelerate's going to be for 2024. Okay. Like I said, y'all take the next few minutes, go get your $7 deal, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Remember, protect yourself. Don't let somebody out here scam you out of everything.